Hey, hey. All right, guys, welcome back. So this is going to be today's topic is going to be for the 22nd, okay? And so we just start out with Capricorn. The energy around you is serious, materialistic, and hardworking. It bestows shrewdness and cautious ambition. And somebody's very sure-footed, but they're also conquering whatever their obstacles are with this, right? Because that goat is going straight up the mountain, in a way that only these very remarkable, like bighorn sheep or mountain goats can. Um, Forgive me, I don't know which one to call that, but well, it's a goat since it's Capricorn, but still, is a bighorn sheep, does that still technically fit in the goat family? Sorry, I don't know. Anyway, sure-footed and capable of doing things not everybody can. The fact that we have this diligent, hardworking energy, it doesn't mean that it isn't still somebody who knows how to have a good time, but it certainly looks like we have a character who's been, I'm going to say, toiling away at the important things in life. So I want to know why. What is it that they are working so hard on? I mean, they're almost to the crest of this mountain. I feel like I want to like cheer for somebody. Oh, so their mountain, their obstacle has been healing. Somebody's just about healed. They're almost there. This is well worth it to cheer for this character. Like, come on, you can do it. You can get there. You can absolutely reach that point where it's like, oh, at long last, I have truly arrived. Could be dealing with a Libra here. Does not have to be, but of course we have Capricorn as well. Fool in the reverse, King of Cups in the reverse. This is someone who's, they haven't had the energy yet to really pour themselves into a new adventure because they've been too emotionally depleted for a period of time. They were in a rut. This is someone who was in an emotional rut. Tell me what was the rut about? What was it? Because this is the thing they're healing from, right? What was their emotional rut about? I don't know if somebody was brokenhearted or what. Moon in the reverse, Piscean energy. But then we have the Wheel of Fortune upright and the World card upright and the Two of Swords in the reverse. This is someone who is in an emotional rut almost because it became very revealed, like a secret was revealed that maybe somebody either moved on without them, could be a divine feminine who got clarity that they needed to have a new beginning, and this divine masculine is feeling out in the cold. They're we don't have a card of out in the cold, but it's more like they recognized or they discovered that maybe she moved on, maybe she's with somebody else. They've been needing to heal themselves from let's see, that Two of Swords in the reverse. What is that? Queen of Swords, Six of Wands, Devil in the reverse, Ace of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that King of Cups, they got the memo that a queen that they likely had a lot of desire for, she decided to cut them loose, is what I would say. And cut loose because she wanted to, maybe she thought this was a toxic connection. Maybe she thought that they didn't love her. So she said, nope, I'm not holding on to something that makes me unhappy. I'm not holding on to someone that doesn't like fill my cup, or that makes me, if holding on to them were making me feel toxic, I'm cutting loose of that. I won't have somebody that I wait for that can't offer me love. And if that is a thing, they realize that they were too late to come into her, to offer her something. What I don't get is, this is what they're healing from. So let me just reverse it a little further and say, but why, if that bothered them so much, why did she have the perception that they didn't offer her anything? And you notice I said, why did she have that perception? Five of Wands, she said, well, they couldn't make a decision. They went round and round and round and round. They were always too busy dealing with something else, fighting themselves, not just being able to open up. Okay, that's her perception, but let's ask them now. What was it? Why did they not offer her something? Or did they? What's their perception of it? King of Wands, the Hierophant, the Ace of Swords. If they're saying, well, I loved her, but I was married and I would have to sever that first. Well, I don't think they need to get all bent out of shape that she moved on. Tell me about the Hierophant. Oh, whoops, sorry. I'm dropping that Ace of Swords. We have a Five of Wands, the Judgment, and the Page of Wands. Yeah. So she was right. She said they couldn't make any decisions. And that Hierophant was, they struggled round and round in their mind. What do I do about this? And instead it looks like they reconnected in a relationship, but they wanted to journey away from, but instead they went ahead and resurrected it, all because they couldn't figure out what to do. Okay, then I'm just going to say, well, then you got no business having any bent out of shape, no, butt hurt, all because somebody goes, yeah, I don't want anything to do with somebody this toxic. They didn't offer anything, and they just went round and round and round, couldn't decide what to do. So she cut him loose and she's never felt better. Meanwhile, they're like, oh, I'm so wounded. Tell me, why are you so wounded over this? I don't get it. You didn't do right by her, so why are you wounded? Nine of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, because she would have made me happy. I wanted her to give to me. That was my fantasy. Okay. Wow, this is a very selfish character. Sorry, I'm calling it like I see it. Oh, sassy Kate. Try to keep me on a leash. Oh, but here's the thing. They're so like bleary about this. They really feel very, this is somebody who's very self-indulgent. That's all I see there. So well, I loved her, but I was married. I don't like stories like this at all. At all. I'm not sure. It started out with somebody who's almost at this, they're almost healed. And they're really trudging toward being healed from an emotional disappointment. But I really struggle with seeing, hold on, let me backtrack and say, maybe I misread this. Maybe I should have talked about this as if it was in the karmic energy. I put these two together and I saw, okay, so somebody, actually put all three of these together and looked at it as if, oh, so somebody is working toward healing from a huge emotional disappointment, meaning, it was a tragedy or something that they had to overcome. When in fact, I could have looked at it as, no, they're healing maybe from their own bad behavior at this point. This karmic energy of, I want you to give to me. I want emotions poured on me. Pour some sugar on me. Yeah, they don't get to just have what they want. So they've been slowly but diligently, actually, maybe this is representing not an obstacle in them needing to heal so much as it is an obstacle in them needing to actually mature their mindset. And that is a version of healing, right? When we can actually look at our own behavior and be like, oh my God, I can't believe how selfish I was. Why did I think that I could have my cake and eat it too? Why did I think that that was okay? Are they bent out of shape that she's moved on? Yes, I do think that. But they've been healing. So what does that mean at this point? If they've been healing at this point, where does that leave us in this? We got a Six of Cups in the reverse. We got an Ace of Cups upright. Hold on. Before I say anything about that Six of Cups, who is the Six of Cups in reverse they're letting go of? Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Okay, so this would be them finally ending that other commitment, closing out that chapter. So maybe that person that they were married to, that instead of, they couldn't figure out what to do, so instead they actually recommitted or decided to stick around and try to work things out with that person because it was an unfinished business of some soulmate connection. And now the lessons have been completed. A King in the reverse could certainly represent a karmic energy. So it would be a lesson that hasn't been learned yet. Soulmates teach each other lessons. If they finished a lesson, which it would have been a lesson in, well, this is all about how we get through struggles. And this is about, the indecisive energy and the juggling and never being able to just say, this is true, this is false, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is who you are to me, this is who you aren't to me. If they were unable to be clear with anything, which we saw that twice, the Five of Wands showed up in the way that Queen of Swords assessed them and said, there's somebody who they couldn't decide anything. They were round and round and round. And then sure enough, they showed up that way for themselves as well. They were a very indecisive person, all because they couldn't finish a cycle with, it was like musical chairs or something, and they had to finish the whole game of musical chairs to where there was no chairs left to sit down on. Otherwise, they kept cycling through and kept playing that game with whomever this soulmate was that they might have been married to. So it's finally over, and they finally, in the midst of all this, they finally have reached some point of maybe loving themselves at this point. I'm so tired of these kinds of stories, I gotta say. Let's talk about the Queen real quick. The Queen of Swords over here. Let's change directions. What's going on with the Queen of Swords? Knight of Wands in the reverse. She's totally shut that down. She doesn't want to hear from them. She doesn't want their player energy in her life. How'd she tangle up with them in the first place? Oh, Four of Wands. Well, they told her a big old freaking whopper. I almost said a different word that starts with F. I'm laughing at myself because we can always tell when real sassy Kate is popping up. They told her a whopper, even though what's crazy is it was true at the same time. They said that they wanted to marry her. This is a Four of Wands. You're everything I've ever wanted. And they wanted to keep this fantasy that was out of reach, but this was this. So here's the thing. It's a whopper, and it was also true. Yes, they wanted her. Yes, she was their fantasy. Yes, she's the one that they wanted to marry. But you notice how she's in this portal and she's unattainable? They acted like they were going to do this. We're going to get married. I'm going to come into your world. But instead, they just stood there and they did diddly scoot about it. They didn't come toward her. So that's where it was a big old fat whopper. So she got tangled up with them. Now, if they were saying that I want to marry you, you're my Four of Wands, she probably didn't know that they already had somebody, is what I would guess. Now, remember, these are fictional stories. Ooh, Nine of Swords, it caused her so much stress. Oh, she says they were nothing but a ball of stress. It was like sleeping on a bed of nails. I barely slept. I was so stressed out. I kept wondering, am I going to just have this missed opportunity with them? What's going on? I feel like she didn't know what was going on. All these books, all this wisdom, she still couldn't figure it out. Am I the one who's so confused? I don't get their behavior. She's saying it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. So where is she today? We saw that she's moved on. Ace of Cups in the reverse. She's still, I would say, reeling from the aftermath of this, unfortunately. But she is a Queen of Pentacles after all. She is stable. She is grounded. She is at peace with her own personal life. Did it leave a big old scar for her? Most likely, yeah. Is she still working on reviving her own happiness, her own self-worth? Yes, but what's ironic about it is that she does have a ton of worth. She's like a realist, and she's also a sensitive individual, is what she comes across as here. Somebody who is super loving, but this still, all I can say is it's a giving, wonderful, solid, grounded person whose life is very successful, whose money is looking good, whose entire life is actually very calm. She may be surrounded by lots of growing things, meaning her business, her friendships, whatever's in her life, it's growing. It's beautiful. But even a realist can say, oh yeah, but that one really hurt. It was a train wreck. It was a head trip. It was all those unpleasant things for me to deal with. And I haven't forgotten any of it. Three of Pentacles, Page of Wands. She's on the cusp of meeting somebody new and interacting with a new person. The only problem is their energy is still within her, is what I will say. Their energy, and I only say that because there's a Three of Pentacles, and I feel like, and we even see three people there, and one is standing behind her. She's about to meet a new romantic partner, but their energy remains. It's like it's like their touch on her shoulder still is there, like she can still feel it or something. Six of Cups, because unfortunately, it's like even with this new soulmate coming in, there's an awareness that she had a bond to this other person as well. However, this could even be them, like this Six of Cups, it's them showing back up as well, as a returning soulmate. She has somebody new. Tell me about the new. The new is like, We got a Page of Swords. This is somebody who's admired her from afar. Could be a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but this is somebody who, they're probably pretty intellectual. See, they held back a little bit coming toward her. They maybe have had some of their own wounds. Maybe they had a broken car too. They could be a little bit older than her. They could have had some tragedy or something in their own world. This is the new person. This is not the, oh, the person I've been rolling my eyes over who, was with someone else and couldn't make any decisions. They are free of that former connection now, is what it looks like. But she is also done with them. And this new person who is showing up could be a Cancerian, doesn't have to be. But they seem to have taken some time. They thought about her for quite a while, this new person did. But they had some stuff going on in their own life that had really fatigued them. Maybe even this person has like prematurely gray hair or white hair, even though they may not be old enough. If they are masculine, they're very attractive though. It's like they have a nice sensitivity to them, and like they are capable of carrying a lot of burden and a lot of grief. And I'm wondering if they kind of thought about her for a while, but they themselves just weren't ready to move forward into any form of a connection. Oh, they think very highly of her. The Empress and the Hermit, they've noticed that she's been kind of a lonely soul herself. So that was actually kind of nice because they weren't ready to rush forward and offer her anything. And they noticed that she's somebody who they've observed her for quite a while. And they've noticed that she's been single for quite a while. And they see her as somebody where it's like, man, she's a catch. She's choosing to be single. So she went through something. This person has observed her and kind of understood her from a distance, is what it seems like. I like this person. The Lovers and the Ten of Pentacles. Wow, they're about to make their move. So what happens with, the Lovers and the Ten of Pentacles says that X's energy is still within her, yes, because the Lovers is a choice. She's going to have the opportunity to make a choice to say yes to this new person who already thinks highly of her. I'm rooting for this new person in her. I got to be honest. They really see a lot of success with her. They are ready to go ahead and actually ask her out, is what this looks like. And I feel like time is going to be just right. Ooh, got an Ace of Swords in the reverse. What is it that she doesn't know about all this, though? What is it that she does not know about this? Are we even surprised? So that X wants to come to town, come on back in their leather duster jacket, coming in saying, I'm ready to fight for this. But you know what's crazy? They say they're ready to fight for this, but they're not really offering anything. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. It might be lip service. They may not actually be ready. Anyway, that X, I don't know that X is ready. That, or she's just simply saying no. Six of Wands. No, she puts us in the past. The X is the goblin here. They come back in kind of swaggering, kind of like thinking that they look really good, thinking that they're going to come back in. And I think she says, no, thank you. She may not even receive this person's, if they bring her a gift, she doesn't want it. If they reach out to her to ask, can I talk to you? She doesn't respond. I think she's really glad. You notice how it's time to cross the street. It's time to go where there's real success. And I think she really likes this new person who's going to be asking her out. And this new person has such a great opinion of her as well. I think she's found her success with this new individual. I think she's going to really have a 10 of Pentacles with them. Is there any final message about what happens to that ex of hers then? This one who couldn't seem to make decisions. Well, the Sun. They kind of ride off into the sunset and they go seek happiness elsewhere. It doesn't really seem like that person loves anybody very deeply, to be honest, because it's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll go someplace else and have good happiness. And good for them though, right? And who should ever be miserable? But that was kind of a weird ending to this one, to be completely honest. I was like, wow, okay, that seems flippant. But are we really that surprised? Because somebody couldn't make decisions before, and it almost seems like they kind of, they don't really strike me as somebody who's very deep. Whereas this new person seems to be very deep. It seems like a much better match for her. So I'm cheering for the new. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye. If you do enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe.